Then right about now, Lily's going to come out and go, why don't we just go buy a new lamp? Hello and welcome to Scott's Garage. I think some of you in previous episodes probably saw this lamp, and we fixed it last time, turned out to be just a bulb, but now I think there's something more wrong with it. We may have to take it apart and kind of get into it a little bit. So let's get started. All right, so let's plug it in and kind of see what we're dealing with here. So it kind of like flickers, and this is a dimmable bulb, so it should be fine, but it sits there and strobes and does all kinds of weird stuff. And it maybe this is like dirty contacts or something like that. So let's take this apart and see if we can't fix it. Okay, so the first and most important thing to do here is to unplug it. So let's unplug that, make sure we don't get ourselves electrocuted or something. Let me just take this bulb out so I don't smash it on something and kind of put that aside. And then try to figure out how this comes apart. I think we need to get into here, but not really sure how this... I guess I got to take this felt off. I don't know if I can just kind of peel this off. Maybe if I take this off nicely, I could kind of glue it back. You know, glue it back on there. Something like that. Okay, well there's a nut here. Let's go get a wrench and some other tools and see if we can't get this apart. Some basic tools here. Let's take this off. Wow, so this is just kind of a weight, I think, to keep it from falling over. And then I guess we take off these screws here. Can you see that? Yeah, okay. Looking good. Maybe if I just cleaned it, it's maybe the contacts are dirty and they've been arcing over the years and they kind of have a bunch of buildup gook. And looks like they're missing a screw here. That's kind of funny. Oh, and this one's loose. Oh, okay. So this whole thing's coming apart now. Let's put that aside so I don't lose it. Okay, so this whole bracket comes out. Wow. Look at that. That's quite the mechanism. Dang. That is pretty involved. Look, it's got like... Oh man. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. I'm not sure if that's the problem. Now, I think this gear might be a press fit. Let me see if I can work it off of this boss. Looks like it's coming off. Okay. Oh, and then this is just a standard, like, your standard thing. Okay. Like you would have on any radio or something. All right, so let's take this little nut off. Oh, that's Loctited, huh? Okay. Maybe I should get a socket or something. I don't know, I'm having flashbacks of the steamer. Remember that fiasco of the steamer? Yeah, that was bad. This is one of my oldest ratchets. I don't use it very much, but I probably had this for 30 or 40 years. Bless you, Willie. Willie's just having a sneezing fit. He's having a pretty tough time with the allergies here. We're having kind of a storm Santa Ana thing. Uh-oh. Not sure what's going on here. You know what I'm thinking is I think we might just rewire this and maybe like mount a switch somewhere. Just an on-off switch. Okay, well I just pried this up and this broke. So I think what I'd have to do is probably replace this component if I so saw fit.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I had a little bit of time to think about how I want to do this. And the problem is that I think this little doohickey here is worn out. I was calling it a rheostat. I don't know if that's the right name for it. Maybe somebody in the description could tell me what that is. But basically that, you crank this back and forth and the light goes up and down, the voltage goes up and down. And so we'd have to replace this, and it's bad. It's kind of worn out inside, so it kind of flickers, and you saw what it was doing. And then I really sealed the deal when I basically broke this off of there. So I could find this component, try to solder it and replace it and all that. It's I mean, I could probably do that, but I don't really want to do that because I'd have to spend money, and I don't want to spend any money. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this and just put the lamp back together using a regular switch. And let me show you what I have in mind. If I was to just cut the wires in between here, and you have the wires coming in and you have them going up to the lamp, you put one side connected all the way, the other one is broken with a switch in the middle. And I thought, if I could mount a switch like right here, and I came up with a switch over here that I want to show you. The only reason I think I'm going to use this switch is because I found it in my junk drawer and it was free. So it has 1, 2, and neutral. So if you notice, the light is on, so I've got it plugged in. So one of the leads is going to neutral and one is going to number 2. So if I put it to number 2 and it's off, the light is on, and there's no power to that terminal. Let's see that. So if we look at that here, nothing lights up. But if I switch it, light's still on, and I go like that, and the power's on. So I could have neutral and then power coming in and power going out to the light bulb. Now, I think the way it's supposed to work is I think the power is supposed to come into 1, you hit the switch, and when it's on, it comes out of 2. But what that did, if you look at, so this being the light's on all the time, so what that is the light is off, and then when you do it like that, it's on, which I can see with some switches that would really make sense because, you want to know when the power is on. But this is going to be a lamp switch. So what's going to happen is that it's going to be off, and the room will be dark, and the lamp will be there, the switch will be there, and this will be dark, and be fiddling around with it. And when you hit this on, the light will come on, illuminating the switch, and then the switch illuminates. That to me seems kind of dumb. Better would be if I had the power coming into 2 and going out of 1, the light's on all the time. That way the room is dark. You walk over, you can see this is lit up, and then you just go like that, and then the light comes on. So this is always on, kind of letting you know in a dark room where the switch is. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. And let me see if I can wire that up the way I said. So as far as switch placement, I think what I'm going to do is the cord's coming in here, so this would kind of go like behind your nightstand. So you'd kind of want this part to the front. And if I could mount the switch kind of like right here, I thought of mounting it here. Actually, that would be kind of cool, huh? So the problem that I have is this is metal, and I have to cut a rectangular hole in metal that this snaps into. These are like snaps. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to cut a rectangular hole in metal. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But before we do this, I think what I might do is hook this up and see if my idea actually works. Okay, so I think the first thing I need to do is do a little surgery. So this one would be coming from the plug in the wall, would go to number 2. This one would go to number 1. And then both of these would go to number N. If that makes any sense. Okay, let's do that. And then we'll put the light bulb in, then into, out 1, ground this thing here. And let's plug it in.
Okay, turn it on.
So we have light on, bulb on, bulb off, light on. That's it. I think that's what I want. So the plan is to mount this switch kind of like right here. And so I need to make a cutout the size of this right in here. Okay, so now we have to remove that, and the switch should slide very nicely right in there. I don't know if you can see that. That's my square. Doesn't it look curved? Like the lines look curved. It's so weird. So let me think about how I'm going to do this. So now what do? All right, so this is about the only way I can think to do this. I have a cutoff wheel in the Dremel. I don't know, we'll probably try to go slow. Okay. Huh, it kind of worked. All right, so I don't know, maybe like this. Right after some annoying screeching. Hey, that's pretty cool. It's a little bit of a thing right there, but that's okay. I think that's all right. So we're gonna have it like that, right in there. Sweet. 2 of these through this hole. There's 2 pins right there. These 2 here. Go through this. Hey, I think I kind of got it. Miracle of miracles. Hey, that looks good. Okay, let's see if this is right. Hey, that still spins. Looks like some Goo Gone is in order here. That should be okay. All right, so let's put it there. That worked pretty good. Putting it in the vise, I like that. I'm going to say that's this one. And I kind of see a problem with this right off the bat. It's this has to be flush. Okay, I should have put it there, huh? That would have been a lot better. Just gonna go here. So let's lengthen this character. I don't think I can get my tool in there. My tool's too big. I have too big of a tool. Then right about now, Lily's gonna come out and go, why don't we just go buy a new lamp? And I'll go, ah! You know, I never really liked that lamp anyway. I kind of always wanted to buy a new one. All right, so let's see if it works.
Light it up!
It works. All right, so I added a little bit of tape on here to kind of cover any exposed wires. And the next thing I need to do is this is relieved right here for this wire. I need to relieve it all the way around here for all of this to sit in there. Otherwise, it's not going to fit. Let's do that now. What is it? Like filled it with cement or something? So here's what I've got so far. I tidied up the wiring a little bit, and I kind of potted it because this switch was a little bit wiggly. So I kind of put some wood in there to sort of tighten it up the way it sits in the hole, and then I potted it with some glue. Then I finished cutting out the weight. The weight was filled with cement, which I didn't know that, and I tried cutting it with lots of different stuff, the Sawzall, the death wheel, and everything. And in the end, I ended up just cutting this and almost breaking the cement, which I should have done that to begin with because I spent far too much time on that. And then I put the weight in, and then the nut, and put a little bit of glue on here just to cover this up. Okay, and we'll just set that down there and let that glue dry. We'll do a little bit of scraping of the glue and a little bit of Goo Gone when it's done, and then put this piece in here. On, off. Let's see, let me turn off the lights to get the full effect. So we come into the room, it's dark, but this switch is nicely lighted, and then we can go like that, and then we have our bedside lamp. That provided a lot of interesting challenges. Sometimes it's a bulb and sometimes it's a lot more involved, and that was a lot more involved, changing out that switch. This thing still spins around but doesn't do anything anymore, but I guess you could have fun with that.
I can't put it down. Once you start spinning, you spin for life.
So anyway, I think we're ready to go put that upstairs in the bedroom tomorrow once everything dries and clean it up a little bit. But I think that just about does it for Scott's Garage and the end of another project. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.